Okay, so now this morning we're finishing up 8.2. Now, this one right here, converting from rectangular form to trigonomic form. Now, the trigonomic form is the CIS. So, trigonomic form looks like R CIS of theta. Do you remember what CIS stands for?
Cosine I sine.
Cosine I sine. Okay, so that's a trigonomic form, where rectangular form is A plus BI. So we have our two different forms. We're going to convert back and forth here. So write this in trigonomic form, use radians as the measure. So let's take a look. Let's see. So now, what is this first thing right here? From the B perspective, the A perspective, which way is that going? Right or left? It's going left, right? This is my real axis. This is my imaginary axis. This is the X. This is the Y. So it's to the left, negative rad 3. So if I'm trying to graph that, what would I do? How can I graph that?
Put it in your
Calculator and estimate it. So it should be like 1 point something, 4 or something? I don't know. What is it? What's square root of 3? 1.73. Okay, so about 1.7. So it's not all the way to 2, is it?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And what is my B value? So I'm left almost 2 and down how much? 1, right? So almost 2 and down 1. So it's going to put me right here. So I'm going to make a little bitty triangle here. A little bitty triangle like this, right? So the x coordinate, because I'm always trying to find the r, right? Do you guys remember when we tried to find the r, what do we use to find the r? Which was the Pythagorean theorem, right? Okay, so I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem for this. So Pythagorean theorem, so r is equal to the square root of negative rad 3 squared plus, what goes next? Not I, 1. There we go. So it's 1 squared. Okay, it's not the I don't put the I. The I is just saying that it's in my imaginary direction. Okay, so I do this right here. What happens when I square a negative? Becomes a positive. What happens when I square a square root? Cancel out. So this is just going to be 3, and this is going to be 1. So 3 and 1 give me 4. And so R is 2. So my radius is 2, right? So radius is going to be 2 here. So now let's back up a little more. Since now I have my radius, now I can actually try and figure out my values. So to find my angle,
wouldn't the triangle face another way since it's positive?
so right here, this little triangle right here.
Yeah, it shouldn't be flipped up.
No. Oh, you are right. Ooh. All right, I know, right? I'm gonna, you know, you deserve a candy or something.
It's not candy, is it?
Yes. There we go. So, because it was positive 1, yes. Okay, good job. All right, so right here. So yes, that is right. Now, where was that now? Crap.
Sorry.
Now I was on something right here. Okay, so to find the angle, it's right here.
But we did that one.
Okay, and then we said that theta, so we would do the inverse to try and find my angle, right?
Yeah.
So
What was that answer?
so theta equals
10
inverse tan
of y over x.
y over x. What is the y value here? 1 over x, which is
Square root is 3.
negative rad 3.
It's okay to have a rat at the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's fine because we're just plugging the calculator. We're just telling the calculator what to do. I don't need, if I was going to leave this as my answer, I couldn't leave it like that. But the problem is I'm just putting it in the calculator.
I
So-
got something totally different.
So hold on real quick. So right here, inverse tan. Oh,
Oh, that's why.
-30.
negative. Like this, right? So I get negative 30, right?
Yeah.
But is that in the right place?
What do you mean?
Well,
Think about my unit circle. Where is it supposed to be?
Oh, it's supposed to be on the other side.
Isn't negative 30 down here somewhere? Negative 30 is in quadrant 4, right?
yeah.
What would I do to get it over here into quadrant 2?
Add 360.
Not 360. 360 is going to put me all the way back over to this spot over here.
Inverse.
Add 180. So I want to add 180 because I want to find this one in that spot. This is the reason why graphing it is so important. Because I know it has to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it has to be here, I have to change it. So I'm going to add 180 to this. So
You get 150.
So negative 30 plus.
So theta is 150, right?
Yeah.
Because this was negative 30 plus 180. Right there, right? So that's where I get that. Did I lose you? Go ahead, speak.
I can't.
Oh, at least point me in the direction what you're having trouble with.
So, how do you want it again?
Okay, I got 150. So now, did you get the negative 30? So your calculator said negative 30. That puts you right here, right? But I don't want it down here, do I? I want it all the way over here, right? I want this. So to get from here to here, I add 180. Because my graph tells me it's supposed to be here, isn't it? But my calculator told me it's down here. But then I have to do the math to fix that, to put it where it's supposed to be. Because the calculator will only put it here or here. It's never going to put it in the right spot every time. The only time it's going to put it in the right spot is if it's in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1, it'll be right. It should be fine all the time. But the problem is if it's in a different quadrant, it's going to give me somewhere else. And so by graphing it, I know it had to be in quadrant 2 here. Right? I know it had to be there, but the information, my calculator said it's down here. So to make my angle correct, I added 180. Okay? So plus, I don't like negative angles anyway. So if I got a negative angle, what would I do? I'd usually do coterminal, right? Okay. So that's what I'm going to end up doing out of that. All right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
How did you know negative 30 was there? Is it because it's negative and it's on the opposite side?
Yes, negative, because if I go this way, it is negative. All my angles are negative if it goes this way, because the unit circle always goes the other direction, right? The unit circle goes this way.
Yeah.
What's NCG?
That's negative, NEG,
Oh.
right? So my unit circle always goes this way, but if it goes negative, it goes backwards, right? Okay, so that's why I needed to try and fix that. So, but up here it says, use radian measure.
So you have to convert it back.
But how do I convert it to radian?
150
Okay, multiply by,
pi over 180, right?
very good. This one is on the unit circle, but are they always on the unit circle?
No.
They're not always on the unit circle. So you have to know how to convert anyway, right? We've been doing this since back in unit 1. So multiply by pi over 180, so my theta, 5 pi over 6, right?
Yeah.
So my final answer, okay, write this in trig form. Here's my trig form again. There's my trig form.
Is that R on this?
Yes, that's r CIS theta. So my answer is going to be, what was my radius?
2.
2 CIS of 5 pi over 6. So 2 CIS 5 pi over 6 is going to be my answer here. Because we did a lot. We found the radius.
Can you do this in your calculator? You know how like we do DMS? Can you do SCIS?
I can't remember. I know it does part of it. I just can't remember if it does. Maybe. I don't know. Try it. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look at the next one. Oh, hey, look. I actually had more space. I didn't have to try and cram it in there. I forgot that on another sheet. Anyway. Okay, same thing. Oh, wait. Oh, here it is. Write this in trig form. This right here in trig form. So first, what is the rectangular form of this? What is my A? What is my A value?
There's nothing.
There's nothing. How do we represent nothing in math?
0.
So this is 0 minus 3i. Does that make sense?
Thought we didn't have to go to example.
There's still 3. So 0 minus 3i. 0 in the real direction, left and right, and down 3 in my imaginary direction. So the graph is going to look like this. Now let's figure out how I did that. So these things right here are on my axes. So if it's on my axes, I have to try and pick it from the unit circle. If it's on the axis, because if I try and do my math to find the angle, okay, let's do Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so r is equal to the square root of 0 squared plus negative 3 squared. So my r value is what?
9.
This is 9, right?
3.
So it's the square root of 9. So r is 3, right? Okay. So now let's do theta equals inverse tangent
Y over X.
y over x. So my y value was
Negative 3.
over.
0.
Can I do that?
Invalid.
No, that's going to be undefined, right?
Yeah.
It's undefined because I cannot have 0 in the denominator. Since I have 0 in the denominator, I have to just look at my unit circle to tell you where this is at. Because I cannot do this and put it in the calculator. You're going to be like, oh, God, messed up. Anyway. All right. So, look at the unit circle. It goes straight down. Okay? That's where I find the 270, right? This one says degree mode. You guys understand? Your unit circle says that this angle right here is 270, right?
Yeah.
But then you go.
But
That's it.
if that wasn't there, how do you know?
Is it right here? Because you have to graph it first. If I graph this, that's the reason why we had the issue on the last one. We graph this. It goes straight down here, doesn't it? It's 0 in the left and right, and it's down 3. Did I lose you on that? Okay, so let's back up a little bit. I will regraph it. I'll start off with not having any information there. So 0, so 0 left and right, and then down 3. So it put it right here. 1, 2, 3. My point is right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then it's not a triangle because.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So we're not going to get anything else there. So 0 left and right, and then down 3. It puts me at this point right there. Okay. So because it's on the axes here, I have to look at the circle, unit circle, and say, oh hey, that's straight down. That's going to give me 270. If I would have the same problem if it went straight up.
So it would be 1. I mean,
It'll be 90.
That would be 90, right? I can't put that in the calculator because again, I would have 0 in the denominator.
so if you're given the inverse tan negative 3 over 0. Never mind.
This one right here, because this is my y and that's my x, right? This is undefined. So this piece right here is undefined. Now, are we okay with my angle now? Are we okay with my radius? Okay, so what is my final answer for this problem going to be?
3 CIS 270.
There we go. My final answer is 3 CIS 270.
Will always be CIS when we're.
Why is it CIS?
When we're always doing the same stuff.
That's tricky.
This is going to trigonomic form. Okay, if I'm looking for a trigonomic form, then that's what I'm looking for. If it's rectangular form,
We're done.
that was the a plus bi. All right, example 4. We're not done.
It only goes to example 3. And
Are you sure?
39 through 49, it says see example 3.
Yeah.
See example 3. Then up here, see example
You're
4.
shoving to my shoulder. It's distracting my right.
I'm still going to go over this one because this one is on the test like this. Write each complex number in its alternative form using calculator approximations as necessary. Okay, this is what we did like back in example 1. Okay, is 115 on my unit circle?
Yeah.
No. No.
No, it's not. Then use calculator approximation when necessary. What form is this?
This.
CIS, right?
Yeah.
CIS. So this is CIS. Okay? So let's see if the calculator will actually do this for me.
The whole thing.
6 cosine 115 plus I sine 115. Because I remember that the calculator will do one of them. I just can't remember.
Wait, do you put an I or do you put out I?
6 parentheses, yes. But make sure you put the right I.
115 degrees.
Plus I, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use the correct I, don't use the other one.
What?
The ones from the letter.
Oh.
What's the difference?
Sine.
What's the difference?
It gave, what? Wait. Hey, it did it.
Oh, that's the degrees.
I got something
Wait,
different.
what? I got something
Angle.
different.
Asha got negative 2.53.
357. That's what I got.
I got negative 2.5.
Oh wait, hold on. I think I have to change my mode.
Yeah.
Wait, yours isn't the
6 angle.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. No, it's not the degree part.
Oh no.
Oh, it's the imaginary numbers.
Yes. So yeah, mine's on real. I forgot to change it. Sorry.
Oh.
Now try typing that again. What?
What'd you guys get?
I got
Negative
negative 2.5, a lot of numbers, plus 5.3, a lot of numbers.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to get.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I think it's because instead of polar, do
Rectangular. I'm gonna try that.
Just waiting for this essay to type itself.
Where is it? This one's right.
Catch tape.
Ah, the whole thing closed on me. Dang it. Okay. So when you guys put that in, you got what?
Negative 2.5, 3,
So
five,
so-
seven,
Ah!
5,
Negative 2 points. What?
negative 2.5,
35.
3, 5.
3, 5. Okay, so negative 2.5
plus 5.4.
plus 5.4 I.
It's back up.
It says rectangular forms up there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Now that my calculator's back up. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. All right, so what was it? 6 parentheses
Cosine 115.
cosine 115
Plus
degrees
Get out of that. Okay.
plus I
sine.
sine
115 degrees. And
Okay, now let me go back and change. There we go. Okay, so it has to be on rectangular. I know you to do it. All right, so it will do everything right there for you, right? So that's all you have to do to be able to do that one.
That's the answer?
Mm-hmm. That's it. There you go. All right, now this one right here. This one right here. So let's take a look at this one right here. Because this one is like this on the test. So the form, let's start by, so this rectangular form.
Yeah.
So R is equal to square root of 5 squared plus negative 4 squared. R is equal to 25 plus 16, 41?
41.
Yeah, 41. So R equals rad 41. It doesn't actually clean up, so. All right, so theta is equal to inverse tan of negative 4 over 5. And this one's in degrees.
Negative 30.7.
Point what?
7.
7. Okay. Now, do we want that?
No.
No, because it gives us this angle down here, right? Yes?
We're gonna add later.
Now, this right here, it's in the right quadrant, isn't it?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's in the right quadrant,
Yes.
but what do I have to do to try and get the right number? Coterminal, right? Coterminal,
when you do it.
add 360. So add 360 to that one right here.
You get 321.3.
So, my answer now, so since I have my R and my theta,
So
it's going to be
rad 41.
CIS of
321. We are done.
hopefully that's easy.
Yeah, go check it out.